All right, let's talk about Git. We've been using Git a few times already to clone remote repositories from GitHub, but the motivation behind Git is obvious if you've ever worked on a program or a Word document that you've emailed back and forth, and it's got, version 1, version 2, version 3, final, version 4, final, final, final. That sounds, very common. It's a very frequent problem that people encounter. And the reason is that there's a fundamental aspect to writing a document, which is that every character you type, every time you hit enter, can be thought of as a new version of the document. Now, in general, you don't necessarily share it on a character by character basis, but you pick particular points to make commits at. For example, you insert a paragraph or a particular function if you're talking about code, and the versions that you choose to save in a version controlled database are important or useful versions of the code or the document in some sense. Git is a tool for managing multiple versions of code at the same time, and it allows you to do this in a multiplayer environment where lots of people are editing the same file at the same time. This particular link has some great figures. It's from the actual, Git SCM, the official source code management, Git SCM website. And the concept is, this is the evolution of version control. You've got a local computer. Here's your database of versions. You're currently working on version 3. Here's a central version control server like Subversion, where each of them are, getting checkouts of this. And then here's a distributed version control system like Git. And in this case, each computer not only communicates with the server, but also has its own copy of the version database. So if this goes down or this goes down, computer A can still not only version files, but itself act as a server, and moreover add version 4 or version 5 that does not push to this server or allow to be cloned by this computer. Instead, those versions 4 and 5 would remain local to computer A and all the other computers that it chose to allow access to those new versions. And so this is the concept of a distributed version control system, where each computer has its own, copy of the database as well as syncing those versions with each other. In particular, Git, you can think of it as replacing and superseding previous version control programs like CVS and SVN and the like, and it's much faster than comparable version control systems like Mercury or HG. We're going to talk about Git by going through a little tutorial. Before we do that, though, we're going to need to know about the SHA-1 hash.